move me. I move me. Don't need permission, built from pain, now I'm on a mission. No brakes, the soul's ignition, faith and flesh, that's real ambition. I move me. I move me.
Thank you. I am grateful for you being here. I love you. I appreciate you, and I thank God for you. I'm honored to be your lead servant. This is where we lead with love, serve with strength, and rest in truth. I want to talk about the self-determination theory. Some people call it SDT, Sierra Delta Tango. Self-determination theory is like a framework in psychology. It explains why people do what they do and what makes them keep doing it when no one's watching them. The core idea of SDT is that humans are naturally driven to grow, to master new things, and to connect with others. This just only thrives under the right conditions. SDT is based off of 3 essential psychological needs that feed motivation from the inside out. They are autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Autonomy is the need to feel in control of your own choices. When people feel they are acting from genuine will, not pressure or guilt, motivation deepens. The competence part is the need to feel capable and effective. Progress, skill building, and small wins keep their fire lit, or our fire lit. Relatedness is the need to feel connected, seen, and supported by others. We move stronger when we move together. So those are the 3 essential psychological needs for the self-determination theory, SDT. The types of motivation that the SDT have, they divide it into like 2 categories: intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. The intrinsic motivation is doing something because it's meaningful or enjoyable in itself. For me, doing this is intrinsic motivation. Me reading, writing, helping someone, making videos. And this also for me is extrinsic motivation, which is doing something for an external reward or to avoid punishment. Well, I'm not doing this to avoid punishment, but I'm doing the external reward for me doing this is it's rewarding for me to see that people are watching it. I think my viewer number is around 1,700. My subscribers are at 1,700. I would like for my viewers and my likes to increase drastically. I know that is coming. I've manifested it. I know it's on the way. It's here, actually. I just have to be more open and receptive to receiving it and continue to make the content that will bring those likes and views. I enjoy doing this, so it's an extrinsic motivation for me, or intrinsic motivation because it's something I actually enjoy doing, and I receive motivation to continue doing it by getting more likes and views. But even if that doesn't happen, I will continue to do this because I'm motivated inwardly to do it. Okay, but the SDT, I need to look at my notes. I went on a rant, but what else I wrote down? Continuum of self-determination. Okay, the STD isn't black and white. It is a map that goes on a continuum of self-determination. It's like if you're in law enforcement, the continuum of force. What do we call it? The continuum of the first stage of force might be officer presence, and second would be like verbal commands. It's a continuum But in this case, it's continuum of self-determination. Y'all forgive me for my TBI. The continuum of self-determination, what else? Is you go from control, like I have to do something, to autonomous, which is like I choose to do something. That's the continuum of the self-determination, going from I feel like I have to do it to ending up at no, I'm choosing to do it. So the closer you move toward the autonomy part, the stronger and more sustainable your motivation becomes. The SDT, the self-determination theory, is everywhere. It's in education. Students learn better when they feel choice and mastery. It's in workplaces. Employees perform and stay longer when they have ownership and purpose. It's in relationships. Partners thrive when each person feels valued and free to be themselves. So, in short, when autonomy and competence and connection align, motivation stops needing a push. It starts pulling you forward on its own. I used to think motivation was something somebody gave you, like a pep talk, a paycheck, a pat on the back. But life will teach you differently, of course. Life taught me real quick. Motivation.
Slow motion multitasking feels like
that depends on other
counterintuitive
people.
idea.
Comes with
What
an
I'm
inspiration
describing here
basically.
is having
Mine's
multiple
inspired at the
projects
hospital
on the go
front
at the
gown
same
at the
time,
age
and you
of
move
42. I
backwards
used to be a
and
police
forwards
sergeant.
between
I was
topics
officer of the
as the
year,
mood takes
received
you,
gold stars,
or as the
accommodations.
situation
I was the
demands.
one who
But the
ran
reason
toward
it
the
seems
danger while
counterintuitive
others
is because
froze.
we're
But
used
yet,
to lapsing into
here I was at the age
multitasking
of
out of
42, sitting
desperation.
in a mental
We're in a hurry.
institution,
We want to do
terminated
everything at once.
from a job that had once
If we were willing
defined
to
my
slow
worth, wondered if I
multitasking
even mattered
down,
anymore. See,
we
when
might
you've
find
been
that
trained
it
to
works
protect and
quite
serve, it's easy
brilliantly.
to forget to protect yourself, to serve your own soul. That's where self-determination theory found me, not in a textbook, but in a breakdown. They say there are 3 things every human needs to stay alive on the inside: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. I had lost all 3. My autonomy was gone when my choices were made for me. Doctors told me when to sleep, when to talk, when to breathe. The competence was gone because the badge that once proved my skill now sat in a box somewhere, collecting dust. My relatedness was gone. The sisterhood of the force, the family I fought beside, turned silent. My phone stopped ringing. So I started over with nothing but faith and therapy bills. I told myself if I can't wear the uniform, I can still wear the truth. Every day I gave myself a small assignment, not to chase approval, not to earn validation, but to rebuild trust with me. Autonomy came back first, quietly. When I started choosing peace over proving, when I stopped saying yes just to keep the peace and started saying no to protect it. Then competence came next when I realized my strength wasn't tied to a badge. It was tied to survival. I had survived childhood trauma, a broken marriage, grief that would have buried a weaker soul. Competence wasn't about titles anymore. It was about endurance and relatedness that came through pain. Losing my partner to pancreatic cancer, losing my baby girl 6 hours after birth, those moments cracked me open. But they also taught me the truth. Connection doesn't die with people. It transforms. So now I still talk to Jesus on Sundays and my therapist on Mondays. I talk to myself every morning in the mirror. I say, girl, you're still here. And that's your proof of purpose. I also say my affirmations. I am wealthy, I'm healthy. I am whole, I'm lovable. And it's a long list of affirmations. But that's self-determination, not a theory, a rebirth. It's knowing that nobody else gets to drive your story. Not your trauma, not your diagnosis, not your critics. I used to chase validation. Now I chase alignment. Because once you start moving from the inside out instead of the outside in, life starts feeling like a sentence. It starts feeling like a calling. So to anybody listening who's waiting on someone else to give them permission, stop waiting. The key's been in your hand the whole time. You are the driver. The wheel turns when you do. So have you ever felt like your life was being driven by an Uber driver you didn't hire? You're in the back seat like, hey, where we going? And life just turns around with her shades on saying, you'll see. Yeah, welcome to self-determination theory. Sounds fancy, but really it's just 3 words dressed up for a psychology prompt. Autonomy, competence, relatedness. In other words, freedom, skill, and connection. Or plainly, let me do me. Let me get good at it and let me not do it alone. That's freedom, skill, and connection. That's autonomy, competence, and relatedness. The freedom to be you without asking for permission. Autonomy, that's your right to be the boss of your own soul, the CEO of your peace, the manager of your no. Autonomy says, choose me. My people please in whispers, but will they still like me? According to Desi and Riot 2000, when folks feel free to make choices, their motivation triples. That's science saying you get more done when you stop begging for approval. So if freedom fuels you, what happens when you forget how to drive it? So here's the skill to back it up, competence. And that's the part that says, I'm not just vibing, I'm growing. Too many people confuse busy with becoming. They're spinning like a hamster in a Gucci wheel, posting I'm grinding, but haven't learned a new skill since Obama's first term. But it's just that quiet confidence that shows up when your effort finally catches up with your calling. You can't pray for purpose and skip practice. Studies show people feel happier when they master something small every day. That's APA 2019. Even folding a fitted sheet counts. Now, if you can do that, you're next in line for sainthood. I just bought my fitted sheets up. So growth feels good until somebody tries to grow for you. But connection without contortion. Relatedness, because we all want love, but some of us are calling it when it's just company. And they're calling it love when it's not, it's just company. You shouldn't have to contort yourself for connection, for relatedness. Relatedness ain't about having people around. It's about having people who get you when you stop performing. If you can't show up without your highlight reel, that's not a bond, that's a brand deal. Research from Harvard says deep relationships keep you alive longer than diet or exercise. So if you want longevity, call your friend back before you call your trainer. I need a trainer. I have great friends. But what happens when your connections cost your peace? When freedom, skill, and love clash? This is where life gets messy. You finally find your freedom, but your people start side-eyeing. You start building skills so somebody calls you different now. You set boundaries and suddenly you're the villain in a story you didn't write. And that's when motivation either break or build muscle. Here's the twist. Self-determination isn't about control. It's about alignment. It's about saying I can love you, but I still choose me. Okay, here's the revelation. Motivation doesn't live in reward or punishment. It lives in meaning. You can't fake fulfillment. You can't manufacture peace. You can't find yourself by running from yourself. You can't find yourself by running from yourself. And when you realize that, the game flips, because suddenly the question isn't what motivates me, it's what drains me. So here's what I want you to walk away with, my MESPs. You don't need permission to live how God wired you. You don't need perfection to prove your worth. You don't need to lose yourself to keep anyone else. That's not rebellion, that's responsibility to your own soul. Listen, I've worn the uniform, the title, the trauma, and the guilt. And I learned this the hard way. The system can fire you from the job, but it can't fire you from your purpose. Purpose don't need a badge, it needs belief. And belief don't start when the world claps. It starts when you clap for yourself. You don't have to get it perfect today. Just take the wheel back from whoever's been driving your piece. Self-determination ain't selfish, sacred. Because when you run your own race, you stop competing with folks who don't even know the route. When you master your lane, the crowd can't distract you. And when you honor your own rhythm, you finally dance to music that doesn't drain you. Here's the psychology wrapped in plain truth. Freedom plus growth plus love equals sustainable motivation. That's not just theory, that's survival with purpose. So next time life tries to grab your keys, smile, lean back and say, nah, I'm driving this time. So here's your assignment, MESPs. Stop waiting for permission slips from people who ain't doing their homework. Write your own. Sign it, date it, approve it. Because the moment you realize you are the reason you move, you'll never need motivation. You'll become it. Now go drive your life like you know where you're going. And if they ask who's in charge, tell them me. And I'm paying myself in peace. So drop a comment and tell me, what's the one area of your life where you're ready to take the wheel back? If this message spoke to you, hit that like button and share it with someone who's been running on empty. And before you go, subscribe and join the MESPs, where we don't just chase motivation, we become it. And to the MESPs, my emotional support people, you already know. I love you, I appreciate you, and I thank God for you. Lead with love, serve with strength, rest in truth.
Move me, don't need permission. Built from pain now.